On Home Factory, we're about to blow you away.
Then we start a party in your dining room.
And we're off to the races.
But first, we send up a test balloon.
Aw, balloons. They're fun, colorful, and they make people smile.
And they were first made out of intestines.
Why are you ruining this for me?
What? It's history.
Yeah, whatever. We're going to Maple City Rubber's 104,000 square foot facility in Norwalk, Ohio.
And this is Paul Bennett, Chief Operating Officer at Maple City Rubber. He's going to tell us about the deep and ancient meaning behind balloons.
Ooh.
What can they teach us about life?
Ooh.
What do they symbolize?
Balloons are the international sign of party over here.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Balloons equal fun.
And we try to have as much fun as we can during the day. You know, we're making balloons.
Looks a little too fun.
Whee!
All right, people, back to work, back to work. Every balloon begins as white liquid latex. Maple City Rubber goes through over 1 million liters of latex in a year.
And this is Dan.
Dan's my name, color's my game.
Today, Dan's color game is blue, which he adds to 500 liters of white latex. Blue like the infinite reaches of the sky.
Okay.
Blue like the ephemeral nature of life itself.
Boom, done.
Exactly, Dan. Boom, gone indeed.
Okay. Let's bring you back down to earth, shall we? This is Bob.
Hi, I'm Bob.
And what do you do here, Bob?
I do everything here.
Okay, but what he's doing now is telling us about the form used to make a balloon.
This is an example of an 11 form that we use. It's made of porcelain.
The form has to be smooth and free of imperfections, or the finished balloon will be flawed.
If you're making your balloons on a metal or plastic form, they can really get beat up and have a bunch of blemishes.
A porcelain form will break completely if damaged, so can be easily spotted and replaced.
And to make sure there's no residue or dirt on the forms, they're first dipped into citric acid to clean them.
Then the forms are dipped in the blue latex.
To me, the coolest part of the manufacturing process is when the forms are coming out of the liquid latex, and that's the first time you can kind of see there's going to be a balloon there.
The balloons are then cycled through an oven for 5 minutes at 75 degrees Celsius to solidify.
Then they go see Joe and the ring roller.
It was terrible.
No. Well, okay. We have seen better.
Don't get me under your lip.
Sorry.
I'm the balloon diva around here.
So, what happens here, Joe?
And this operation is called the ring roller. The form will pass through 2 brushes and we'll roll the ring. And that's it.
Why do you need a ring on it?
Well, so you can blow the balloon up. That's how you do it.
No ring on the balloon, you really can't blow it up. It would just go flat, and it would make make a lot of noises, but it wouldn't work.
After the rings have been rolled, the balloons go through another series of dips. The chemicals in these tanks remove some of the proteins in the latex.
Proteins?
I don't want to talk proteins.
We don't either, Paul. After their dips, the balloons head through another oven at 90 degrees Celsius for 45 minutes. This heat treatment cures the latex in its form, vulcanizing the rubber.
What does vulcanizing mean?
Well, in a scientific application, vulcanization...
I was asking Paul.
Vulcanization is a term that basically means the latex you're using is stable.
Next, the balloons are removed from their forms by this set of carpeted pads. The pads grab the balloons and gently pull them off the porcelain forms, dropping them onto the conveyor.
A few balloons from every batch go to Tammy. Tammy the Tester!
I'm blowing up balloons to make sure there's no defects in them, like blisters, craters, wet marks.
Do they ever pop on you?
Oh yeah, they pop, and you jump, and you get scared.
Whoa. Yeah, you know what? I don't know if I could work here. Yeah.
I never feel deflated at my job.
Nice one.
Thank you.
If the batch of balloons passes the test, they head over to Rwanda.
I'm cleaning up around here.
Rwana loads the balloons into a tumbler and then rinses them.
When you blow up the balloon, there's no stuff on it. It's all cleaned up, so you don't have any gross stuff in your mouth.
Then she sprays them in silicone to give the balloons a nice glossy finish.
The balloons are tumble-dried, and then Rowana pulls them out to send to the packaging department.
That's where the balloons see these lovely ladies, who seem to be having a lot of fun on the line.
Nah, I think they're just testing them for buoyancy.
Right. But when they're not testing the balloons, they're weighing them out and sending them down a conveyor for packaging.
The bagged balloons are boxed and sealed. Maple City Rubber manufactures over 150 million balloons every year.
Okay, now we know how balloons are made, but we still don't know what they mean.
They float, they bounce, balloons are colorful. They just translate into having a good time.
You see, as long as they're welcome at birthday parties all over the world, balloons don't have to have a deeper meaning. They just have to be fun.
All right, fine. But if one pops, I'm out of here.
The very face of lawn care was revolutionized in the 1950s with the invention of the leaf blower.
That is unbelievable, huh?
It's like being a wind god, controlling the power of the very air itself.
Leaves and other lawn debris flee and tear at the awesome power of the leaf blower.
Indeed. So to find out how to harness the power of the wind, we're heading to Echo Incorporated's 527,000 square foot facility in Lake Zurich, Illinois to see how they make their handheld leaf blower, baby.
This is Joe Fahey, the VP of Product Planning, which explains why he holds a very anti-rake position.
Rakes are so 70 years ago.
Oh, like way harsh, Joe.
Absolutely not. Goodbye rakes, hello leaf blowers.
So let's find out what makes a leaf blower blow. In a good way, I mean.
The Echo handheld leaf blower begins its life as plastic pellets, which are pumped into the factory via overhead pipes to Ryan.
Where it all starts right here.
Orange pellets are sucked up into the hopper and added to the white plastic.
It's amazing how few pellets you need to make a product orange, red, yellow, black, any color you want.
Out of every 100 pellets, 3 are colored.
Okay, so Ryan, what else is a leaf blower good for besides blowing leaves?
I'll tell you, the best thing I do is in the wintertime when I get a light snow, rather than taking the shovel, I'll take the blower and I'll blow off my driveway, blow off my car. Some of the neighbors think I'm crazy, but even they're doing it now.
That's not crazy.
Today's blower is really a tremendously versatile tool. You can really use it in all seasons.
The pellets are melted and mixed together and then pumped into this spacious and beautiful RV.
Actually, that's an injection molding machine.
Oh.
The melted plastic is pushed into the molds, where it's formed into the sides of the case.
A really cool robotic arm grabs the piece and takes it over to the cutter, which snips off the connecting plastic piece.
And then the pieces head to Horizon, who's assembling the body.
All these pieces is together like a puzzle in here.
Orange, you glad they're so well designed?
Sometimes I drink the color orange.
Hey, why are these leaf blowers orange?
You can see it. We've heard complaints in the past that if there are other colors, they not see it, forget it, run over it. The orange is very vibrant and very easy to see.
But it's not what makes the leaf blower blow. The fan is also made by plastic injection molding. An Echo leaf blower has an airspeed of over 375 kilometers per hour.
The freshly molded fans head over to Faviola.
So, what are you up to, Faviola, huh?
Sometimes check the parts. It's not burned or contaminated on the parts.
Fans that pass Faviola's check are loaded into bins and head over to the assembly line. Hi, guys.
This is Brad, and he's pretty proud of his production staff.
Be prepared to be blown away.
I am so ready. The engine is the first part heading down the line.
When you're buying a handheld blower, the first thing you need to think about is the engine.
The heart of the blower.
Yep, and Karen is just the person to trust with it.
I don't want to break anyone's heart.
The ignition is added, and then the muffler, and then it's secured inside the orange plastic case with a gas tank. Every person on the line adds another piece to the blower. They're working pretty hard. When the blower is assembled, it's taken to this very noisy room.
And who's this?
Hi, Primo!
All of them?
Wow. The blowers are tested for emissions, performance, and to make sure it doesn't exceed noise levels.
When any customer pulls the unit out of the box, they know that it's been started, it's been run, and it's ready to go.
After they've been tested, the leaf blowers are labeled and boxed.
Then the blower hose is added, and the box is sealed, ready to be shipped off to people with leaf-covered lawns.
That guy's even got an extra one just lying around.
Do you think he wants us to help him?
Well, before he asks, let's make a tree and leaf this place. Did you know that Fiesta ware has been around since the 1930s?
I don't even know what Fiesta ware is.
Okay. Do you notice anything about this dining room?
Well, I'm not sure why, but suddenly I feel happy.
Exactly. This brightly colored dishware was launched as a cheerful alternative to traditional floral sets.
Nice. To learn more, we're heading to Homer Laughlin China Company's 1,500,000 square foot facility in Newell, West Virginia.
This is Dan Williams, marketing manager for Homer Laughlin. He's got a lot to tell us about Fiesta ware.
Before I start saying anything, give me just a second to think.
Dan, we're talking bowls and plates here. This isn't a test. Just give us something fun.
With Fiesta dinnerware, every meal's a party.
Perfect. Now tell us what makes Fiesta ware so special.
One of the things that helped differentiate it was you could mix and match Fiesta back and forth with different colors.
Making your dinner table a carnival of color.
Olé! Fiesta ware begins in this giant vat as slip, which is basically different types of clay mixed with water.
It's stirred up and pumped through these pipes to the filter press. These big accordion-like presses squeeze the water out.
Cool. This is Brian, and he's got a magic trick to show us. Whoa, let's see that again. Whoops.
That's not gonna get me in trouble.
We won't tell if you don't. So, Brian, why are you taking all the water out of the clay?
You want your dinners, don't you? Or you want your cereals or whatever.
Well, yes, always.
It's all about removing moisture content, removing air to make sure that there's no air bubbles so that it won't crack.
Brian and his team pull the pressed clay leaves out from behind the strainers. Hey, how much do those things weigh?
About 25 pounds.
Then they take them to a conveyor, which slowly drops them into a grinder, which mixes them back together.
And while the grinder does its work, let's go see what's happening in the mold-making department.
This is Greg. He's making plaster molds for Fiesta ware bowls, and he's one of a kind.
Yeah, they kind of broke the mold when they made me.
Greg mixes water and plaster and pours it into casts.
Then we spin them out, make sure there's no blips in that mold.
After the plaster is set, Greg has a perfect mold for a bowl, modeled after the original Fiesta ware. The molds can be used 6,000 times before being replaced.
The molds and the clay then head to Steve.
Jiggerman on the automatic flat. Number 5 automatic flat.
What the heck does that mean?
I know, that's what I thought when I first started here. What does that mean?
What it means is that clay is extruded as a log and sliced, falling into the mold. This machine, called a jigger, spins the clay out in the mold and smooths the insides.
Each line, one side, can do 500 dozen a day.
The molded pieces then head through a leather dryer, which dries out the clay even more so it will hold its shape.
A worker removes the clay piece and inspects it before placing it on a carousel. The edges are trimmed, and then they're stacked and taken to the painting department.
And this is Sharon. She's making sure these bowls get a coating of signature Fiesta color.
How many colors of Fiesta ware are there, Sharon?
About 16 colors.
My personal favorite is actually lemongrass.
Oh, I like scarlet.
Today, Sharon's painting these bowls periwinkle blue. The conveyor spins the bowls as they pass by the paint sprayers.
It has to be a certain thickness, and it has to be a certain weight.
A worker buffs the bottom of the bowls and loads them onto individual trays.
Here's a friendly crew. Hey, guys!
Hey!
The stacking crew loads the trays onto a pallet. This room station is also where finished bowls are unloaded from their trays.
Finished bowls? I thought these blue ones were done.
Au contraire, my friend, these blue bowls have to be fired.
But it seems like they were doing such a good job. I mean...
Not that kind of fired, the pottery kind of fired.
Oh.
To harden the clay and set the paint, the bowls are put into a 1,200 degrees Celsius oven for 8 hours.
So, we're not gonna hang around and wait for them, are we?
Nah, let's go back to the stacking room. I feel like they were more enthusiastic last time.
Yeah. These already baked red bowls are removed from their trays and sent through a buffing machine so they won't scratch your tabletop.
Next, a worker stacks them and sends them off to the packaging department.
Then they're carefully boxed, sealed, and stacked, ready to brighten up homes around the world.
This year, Homer Laughlin will produce 18 million pieces, so invite everyone over for dinner.
Okay, well, 18 million is a little ambitious for my dining room. Maybe we'll just start with 4 people and see how it goes from there.
Yeah, good call. More for me. Sleek, speedy, and handles like a dream.
Hugs the road as you hug your pillow.
It's the Step 2 race car bed. And don't worry, speed demons, it comes in red.
But before we start the race, we're gonna find out what puts the purr in this engine. We're heading to Step 2's 225,000 square foot facility in Streetsboro, Ohio.
And for his expert opinion on the Step 2 race car bed, we go to Chris Quinn, the president and CEO of Step 2.
It's the most fuel-efficient car on the market.
And what's the maximum speed this sweet baby can get up to, man?
These beds are faster than your wildest dreams.
Gentlemen, start your engines! That was good, I think.
The Step 2 race car bed gets its aerodynamic finish from its plastic shell.
Plastic is great in terms of a kid's ability to play in it and really use their imagination is because it's durable.
Recycled plastic and pellets are ground into a powder and then sifted in this giant shaking box.
The ground-up plastic heads to the mixer. This is TJ, and he's getting ready to give this roadster a paint job.
Sports car red for sports car red.
My man TJ here adds 680 grams of red pigment to the mixer, which is enough to color 10 cars.
Then we're off to the race.
Pump the brakes, TJ. This car's not ready for the track quite yet. The mixed powder is released into a bin and races off to the molding department.
And that's where we put the pit crew behind the wheel. Meet Ruben, Chris, and Victor, the fastest team on the factory floor.
We run 5 minute, 40-second cycle time.
Let's get that time up on the clock.
The pit crew has to crack these molds open by unscrewing all these bolts. Miss one, and the mold won't open, causing a major delay down the road.
The previously molded pieces have to be removed and fresh plastic powder added to each section, including black plastic powder for the wheels. Now that they've added the powder, Chris is in to help the guys close it up. If they don't seal it properly, that powder could get all over the track.
Oh no, looks like they're good for time, but there's still another side to fill. The mold flips, and they're at it again. Victor's in for the assist. He's back after a recent injury sidelined him from the team, but looks like he's better than ever.
Wow, look at that technique. These guys are racing through this. I tell ya, if I were on that team, I'd be honored to work with those guys.
And the crew is done with 2 seconds to spare. The mold heads back into the oven, running at 290 degrees Celsius.
Why is the mold spinning like that?
As the mold rotates, the plastic sticks to the mold, so it has to rotate for it to distribute evenly.
When the plastic parts are complete, Ruben and his team pull all 8 pieces out of the molds and send them down the line.
And that's where they meet Angela. She's responsible for giving the car its smooth finish.
Very aerodynamic for the bed.
Angela uses a hand tool called a reamer to shave off any excess or rough plastic.
Make it smooth so it's not sharp and doesn't cut anybody or anything like that.
Then she drills holes where the wheels will be attached.
Yeah, because this baby was born to burn some rubber on the open road.
And speaking of burning, here's Anthony.
I'm gonna turn this bed into a hot rod.
Anthony uses his trusty blowtorch to make sure these car parts are shiny and can stand up to the scorching hot speeds these roadsters can get up to when you put the pedal to the metal.
It's all about the engine going fast, the adrenaline.
But now that the pieces have been trimmed and flamed, it's still got to hit one more station.
This is the body shop. We assemble the car.
Angela and Anthony put all the pieces together to double check that they all fit.
Looks a little plain.
Don't you worry. These cars come fully loaded with decals, headlights, and hubcaps, baby.
Sweet. Angela and Anthony load all the pieces into a box, and then it's sealed and palletized.
You could be 50 years old, and you're going to love sleeping in this bed. Who doesn't want to have their own muscle car?
And that's why they're shipped to homes around the world to race through every grown adult's dreams.
Right. But I think we need a younger, steadier hand at the wheel.
Wow, the kid's a natural. Look at how he's taking these turns.
What a daredevil. Oh, he's heading for the finish line. He's pulling ahead of the other cars and...
Oh, it's bedtime.
I guess even champion race car drivers need their rest. Good night, little race car driver.
Good night.